So the last I heard, the Kennedy campaign is putting out, in order to counter this being slighted from this CNN debate, is that they're launching their own debate, I guess, where Robert Kennedy they're gonna have the debate airing on CNN. I'm not sure exactly how this is gonna work, but apparently there's gonna be the debate. Trump and Biden are gonna respond, and then Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is gonna have a chance to respond to the same questions, from what I understand. And they have a website that they've launched called therealdebate.com. So that is where, and apparently it's going to be on X. Is that right? So it's going to
That's
get
what I've heard.
maybe even more viewership than what the actual debate on CNN is going to get. That would be great.
Well, the question is, how long will people watch the CNN debate at all, right? How long will they watch? Will they watch the entire thing? Will they watch the first 10 minutes and go, why am I watching this? What will they do, right? We know that in the debates in 2020, we do know that people did shut off. After about a half hour or so, people began to left. The ratings went down. So people did stop watching. They were like, I'm done. Why would I do this?
I would imagine people aren't going to watch. I mean, I would just think they're not going to watch this simply because they've already made it. Most voters, I think, have made up their mind on if they're going to vote for one or the other or neither. And if they're going to watch, they just want to see the novelty maybe of Trump, the things that Trump might say, and Biden fumbling around not knowing what to say, right? So they just want to see the insults and the bumbling old guy.
The thing that I bring up always is debates you would think are about, getting your name out there or educating the American public. No, debates about ad revenue. That's what it's about.
That's all that.
About ad revenue. And they're going to spend tons of money for ad revenue. They're going to have 2 commercial breaks during the debate. That's a thing now. Yeah. Why? Because CNN did not make a deal with the Commission on Presidential Debates or the League of Women Voters. They didn't. This is a private deal between the campaigns and CNN. And somehow that's not campaign finance issue.
Yeah.
So the deal they made was we want to have 2 commercial breaks so we can sell more commercial ads. That was the deal they made. Again, smart for CNN. I'm not mad at them for that. I'm mad because now all of a sudden the FEC says that's totally fine. Yeah. But don't let Bobby Kennedy or Jill Stein or Chase Oliver spend $2 out of some rule or something. We're going to hammer them. But we're going to let CNN get away with giving millions of dollars away for free with no issues whatsoever. That is the piece that people are upset about.
Well, and that was their reasoning. They were so, especially on CNN, you saw it all the time, how they were like, well, we spent too much time on Trump in 2016. That's why he won, because he was saying things. It was outrageous. He was an outrageous candidate. And they gave so much time and attention to Trump during the Republican primary rather than the other Republican candidates that they blamed themselves for Trump winning in 2016 just for that sheer media exposure. And yet here they are, as they railed on themselves for a year, say, oh, it was our fault. Trump wouldn't have won if we wouldn't have done this. He wouldn't have been the nominee. And now here they are essentially doing that again. No lessons learned, essentially.
Well, look, they don't want to change the system. The system right now is good for them. Why would they change, right? The reality of it is there's a bunch of people, and you know this, who don't want to vote for either, who aren't going to vote for either no matter what, who are going to either not show up, are going to write in Mickey Mouse, or they're going to vote for whichever independent's on their ballot in their state. There's literally millions of people who are going to do that. We know this because every single year, millions of Americans do that. They vote for Jill Stein, they vote for Gary Johnson, they vote for whomever, right? So we know that's going to happen. And they vote for these people knowing they're not going to win. They still do it, which we know it's a protest vote by default. Now, what I'm asking you here is, imagine if there's someone who actually can win. What if there's someone who would actually make impact? That scares the hell out of CNN. Right. That scares the hell out of MSNBC and Fox News. They can't stand that idea. They didn't care before because they knew there was no chance. But now you have something special here. You have a very important thing. And that is Bobby Kennedy can actually win a couple of states no matter what. Even if he's not in all 50. If he wins 3, 4, or 5 key states, 3, 4, 5 key states, neither one of them gets 270. That happens. This gets thrown into the Congress. The 12th Amendment kicks in. Each state gets 1 vote. Now, what happens if Biden and Trump don't have 26 states? Because Bobby Kennedy won 4 or 5 of them. So neither of them got 26 states. Now you have to have a compromise candidate. That's how Thomas Jefferson became president. That's how John Quincy Adams became president through the 12th Amendment. That's how they did it. Yeah. What does that mean? The only compromise candidate? RFK Jr. There is actually a pathway to victory that usually is not true. I'm not saying that's a common thing or that I'm guaranteeing. I'm not saying that.
Right.
What I'm saying is, you've even heard people talk about it. The idea of stopping 270. You've heard about contingent election. People have been talking about it. For the first time, I spoke about that in 2016 when Gary Johnson was running, when I wanted to happen to him. No one spoke about it. 2020, no one spoke about it. This time, they are. This is why Bobby Kennedy Jr. is special. This is why he is. No one talked about that. This is the 12th Amendment. We've had it for 200 years. And no one's talked about it until this year. This does matter. If he breaks a hole, do you understand who else will move through this hole? Every local person who you've wanted third party will move through this hole. There'll be more Jesse Venturas from the 90s. Remember when he won independent Minnesota?
Yeah.
There'll be more of them all over the place. There'll be people swapping parties who won't be Democrats or Republicans anymore. There'll be libertarians. There'll be Greens. There'll be independents. There'll be We the People Party. There'll be all the things. You asked why. I hope you understand why.
Yeah. Well, you make really great points. You make really great points. And I'm certainly going to be looking forward to watching Bobby's responses to the debate with, on either X or therealdebate.com. I know therealdebate.com is where they're going to have all the information. So very interesting. Larry,
what you won't find is him just yelling about the other guy.
Right.
What you won't find is him insulting the other guy.
Yeah.
And this is what we're so tired of. We hear all the time. It's fun. It's entertaining to get to yell at, Orange Man bad, or Biden's fallen asleep, or whatever is the cool theme of the day, right? That's fun. But really, when someone says, I'm in trouble, right? I'm worried about paying my bills. Yeah. I'm worried about the border. I'm worried about overseas. I'm worried about things. And Bobby says, let me tell you what I actually think and things that I will actually do. Yeah. Whether you agree or disagree, he's actually answering your question. When I ran for governor in 2018 and 2022, there were people who literally told me, they said, Larry, I voted for you for only one reason. And I said, why? They said, because you actually answered my question.
Well, right. And looking forward to that for sure. Looking forward to that debate that's going to be happening by himself, Robert by himself answering the questions against these other two. I'm sure it'll be quite entertaining. Thank you so much for watching this clip from the full show, which you can catch Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. Thank you guys so much for watching.